But yeah. Anyway.
Alright, the next one. This one is actually going to be a fan favorite one, too. Children of the Night, the name that SCP-1000, aka Sasquatches, used to refer to themselves. They once had a thriving and advanced civilization that was destroyed by humans, wiping the children's memories, but they're coming back.
That's right.
I'm kind of wondering if about the serpent is about the serpent's hand. Because
I guess open it. Is it a...
Yeah, here's the one thing I do know. As much as the serpent's hand probably wants to help 1000, they probably don't. 1000 probably just trust them. Because the children of the sun are basically a sect of the serpent's hand.
What's the Children of the Sun again? Is that the group that, like...
Basically the group that caused what we just read.
Is it that they caused it, or that they're, like, the ones who brought down the information? Whatever. What is the about the serpent thing, too?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. Oh, wow. Okay. This is interesting. There's Chinese mixed... Well, I probably shouldn't say that. Because I don't know what language it is.
Yeah, don't assume before you... Don't fucking assume.
Oh, back to the end of the Qin Dynasty. Okay, so it probably is Chinese.
What language of Chinese?
Right. I don't know. Anyways.
I'm guessing based upon my very limited knowledge, it looks like simplified.
Yeah.
But...
Alright. Anyways. About the serpent. Back at the end of the Qin Dynasty, when the first emperor of Han, Liu Bang, was but a local officer, it was rumored that a great serpent lurked in Feng Shui. Arriving to investigate, he encountered a strange being with the body of a man and the head of a snake. Seeing that it was a monster, he pulled out his sword to slay it, panicked about being explained that he was no monster or demon, but a descendant of Fuxi and Nuwa, a remnant of the Shaya dynasty. Upon closer examination, Liu found that the being wore the clothing of scholars and officials, adorned with a white jade belt. Indeed, a well-learned person, he hence asked the being about gods, kingdoms, kings, beasts, and men, with stories that the Serpent Man answered accordingly. About the gods. At the beginning, the world was like an egg. When Pangu cracked it, the Great Abyss was formed. The Great Abyss was called Gishu. The gods were drawn to it like insects flying into a fire. There they fought and consumed each other, hence Gishu was also the tomb of gods. Two great dragons of yin and yang also lurked beneath and fed on the god. What the hell happened? What was that? What was that? What?
Wait, what? What? We didn't hear anything. Besides you reading.
What the fuck was that? Okay, I started reading, then I'm not sure what happened, because I'll have to look at the footage later, because all of a sudden I just see darkness.
You probably experienced storm-related issues. You okay over there?
What? Why? It was terrifying.
Well,
I literally thought when I was...
Storm.
No, I thought when I was reading, like, the article was doing something or something. But none of you saw, like, darkness or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Nothing flickered.
No, it was literally a second after I was talking about the Great Abyss. Darkness happened. I was like, what the fuck?
Well-timed storm?
Oh my god.
You okay there?
Yeah, I'm fine. It was just shocking. Alright. 2 great dragons of Being also lurked beneath and fed on the gods. One called Fuxui and other Yuwa. The 2 dragons mated and spawned 9 offspring, and from the 9 children, men were born. Hence, men were the most distinguished among all beings. Tens of thousands of years later, the 2 dragons fought. Fuxi was shattered and Nuat was imprisoned in Taisui. The rule of men was broken and the gods all cheered. One Quilin among the gods had the shape of a deer and the face of a man, carrying large antlers and black and white patterns. Upon hearing the event, Quilin abandoned its form and fled to Saturn. Oh, that's a Saturn deer.
Quillen, just so you know, is a type of holy dragon.
So wait, the Saturn deer is a dragon?
It's a dragon deer.
I guess in how this is being put together, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to see some examples of Quillens?
Sure, we can see him after I read the god part stuff. Alright. A faceless god witnessed this and laughed at it. How come you fear the 2 dragons this much? Quillen answered, gods are the greediest and most foolish of all beings, and men are descendants of the dragons. Now that the 2 dragons are both gone, the gods will surely feed upon the 9 children and men. And when the dragons return, they will surely consume all gods in turn. I only wish to avoid such disaster. The faceless god said, the 2 dragons will fight and consume each other, just like the gods do. No need to be concerned with this.
Oh, that's cool.
Huh?
The image cheering put.
Oh yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, there's multiple variants depending on the country and the era, but this is like one of the Chinese variants. It's also called the Kirin, but that is the Japanese name for it.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna be about the serpent's hand and Bigfoot because they do have a bit of bad blood. But I guess not.
Also, have a statue apparently in front of a temple.
Nice.
I have no idea where that's taken because that's a stock photo.
Oh my gosh, these fucking symbols change. I thought I was going fucking crazy.
Yeah, they've been changing here and there. I was tripping balls for a little bit here and there too.
I thought I was going crazy. I was like, I didn't want to say anything because I thought like, oh, I'm just gonna look crazy, especially after the darkness thing. But nope.
Yeah, this page is pretty good at gaslighting us.
Yeah. Quilin answered, but when the surely remain between the 2 dragons, and by then we'll all end up in its stomach. And so it no longer responded to the faceless god and hid deep within the planet of Saturn. About the kingdoms, huh?
How much more is on this one?
Oh, we should probably go to the beast, because that's probably where 1000 is. Or men.
So there's a lot.
There's a lot. I don't think we're gonna get much about 1000 in this.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say we just move on. Something else.
Last example of ancient Chinese Quillens.
Neat.
We love some dragon deer.
Yeah. Alright, so we pretty much know much what in 1000. So let's look at 2932. So I have not read that. Oh my god. I don't like who wrote it, but this looks cool.
That does look cool. Who wrote it?
djkaktus.
God damn it. We can't have nice things.
Look, we can enjoy the SCP, just not the creator.
Well, I think this is gonna have to be like the last one that I'm here for.
Yeah, we can probably stop after this one. We went through a lot fast,
Yeah,
a lot of them more than we thought we would.
Yeah, I've got a fucking splitting headache at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess we just read the description of this.
I can read it.
Well,
No,
I feel like we can get enough of an
What?
So I feel like we can get enough of an understanding about it if we just like reread 1000, right?
Yeah, alright, we can go there. But we'll have to go to...
Down.
Oh. Oh, maybe it... Oh, 3 clearance required. Yeah, right here. This is probably where the real information is. Because the above is fake.
Yeah.
Right. Level 3 clearance required. Document Alpha 1596-1000. Missive from Director Jones. Oh, I remember you. From that postcard, SCP.
Yeah.
You've probably heard the rumors before now. Everyone without a clearance level to know better wants to get their dig in. Your Sasquatch is an SCP. Are we going to capture and contain Bat Boy next? Yes. SCP-1000 is Bigfoot. I assure you, Sticker, don't worry. Contrary to rumors, we don't actually assign you to Keter duty for finding something humorous. You think Bigfoot is funny because we want you to think Bigfoot is funny. We've bankrolled Hollywood comedies and... What? How the fuck do I say that?
Farcical
documentaries, paying off men in gorilla suits, portrayed hoaxes with bear prints and goat fur, bribed and brainwashed cartoonists to get specifically silly depictions on children's television. Even the term Bigfoot comes from us planted in the media in 1958, a term people would find even harder to take seriously than Sasquatch. Why? We'll get to that. The information in the article that you've already read is entirely true. There are 2 direct lies, and plenty of lies of omission. There's no such thing as the anomalous pseudo disease, referred to as 1000-F1. 1000 does not possess a magical death aura. In fact, 1000 does not directly exhibit any anomalous effect whatsoever. We also lied about 1000's intelligence level. 1000 aren't GIMP level smart. They're smarter. To be precise, they are exactly as smart as us. And that brings us to the lies of omission. That's what this letter is for. The lies came from me, so I figured the truth should come from me as well. This is a story we got from the children of the Sun who defected to us. Oh, they're Serpent's Hand members that defected to the Foundation. Okay. So yeah, that's probably why the 1000 doesn't like them. Yeah. It's a story we didn't believe, refused to believe at first. As you've already read, the apes we call 1000 evolved alongside us. We walked in the daytime, they walked in the nighttime. Our nocturnal siblings in the shadows. But while we were still wandering hunter-gatherers, they changed, like we would a few thousand years later. Tools, weapons, agriculture, domesticated animals, stable settlements as humanity blinked in the Pleistocene sun? Pleistocene sun. 1000's population exploded across the night. They blanketed the planet in the tens of billions. They made things that we still can't comprehend, even though we thoroughly studied the surviving pieces. Organic technology, they made trees and birds of prey grow into fast-moving ships, herbs of animal that become trains, bushes that become flying vehicles. From insects and pigeons, they made things equivalent to cell phones, televisions, computers, atomic bombs. Children describe vast, shiny cities stretching across glaciers and penetrating the deepest caverns, grown sky ships of ivory and spider silk, creatures tending them with hundreds of blinking eyes. We were rare, like gorillas now, a few 100,000 left at best. We avoided their settlements just like wild animals they avoid ours. 1000 understood we were intelligent like them, but avoided us just as we avoided them. Saw us as fairies, as gnomes, ascribed us supernatural powers. Said we ate bad children while they slept in daylight. They fenced off our dwindling wild populations in conservatories, outlawed poaching, but in the underground consumed our bones as aphrodisiacs. Then their civilization fell, and we did it. By we, I don't mean the Foundation. By we, I mean humanity. The story is muddy. Supposedly, a trickster forest god showed humanity favor, showed us the master's tools and how to use them. Why we did it, we don't know. Perhaps they hunted us. Perhaps we were simply afraid. Perhaps it was just that they fenced us in, unintentionally or not. We simply don't know what the truth is. Somehow we acquired 1000's own technology, and with it, we instigated an SK-class dominance shift, in which humanity became the dominant species of Earth. We wiped out 70% of 1000's population in a single day. The Day of Flowers, the children called it. Supposedly, every flower bloomed that day while our enemies died in their sleep. Then we hunted the rest down, but we went further than just killing them. With a few of the more twisted 1000's devices, we drove the survivors mad. Even those hiding beyond our reach, we trapped them in their own minds, blocking higher functions, and leaving their bodies to fend for themselves, like any ordinary ape. We slaughtered their living machines and burned their vast shiny cities with 1000's bioweapons that reduced everything to slurry and dust that washed or blew away in the spring rain and wind. We left no traces, not even our own memory. We turned one of the weapons on ourselves, wiped out any knowledge of 1000 and the greatest civilization the planet had ever seen. Only a few humans protected themselves from the effect. Get the forbidden knowledge just in case. The rest of us went back to being hunter-gatherers, none of the wiser. Which brings us to today. You're going to read all about this in all 3 documentation, but I'll give you the short version here. 1000 are somehow regaining their forgotten intelligence and knowledge. Maybe they never truly lost it. We don't know. This is why the ever-increasing number of Bigfoot sightings is so worrying. Why the attempts to add contact, however indecipherable, are even more worrying. Yes, 1000 are just like us. That what makes them so dangerous. We wiped them from history and memory. We dissolved their civilization, and we slaughtered most of their species. Just ask yourselves, if they got the chance, what more would they do to us? Then on 1056-D, instances of 1000 have tried to make contact Foundation personnel on multiple occasions. Most of the attempts at contact have been expunged, untranslated, though recent attempts showed that some instances of 1000 are capable of communicating in English. Alright. 1000... Huh?
So, as a side note...
Yeah?
Honestly, this one's like... a really... this one makes me feel a lot of things.
Yeah.
I feel like we know all that we need to know.
Wait, I just see something.
But if you want to keep reading, then yeah, go ahead.
They actually might be on good terms with Serpent Hand. And then 1104-Y, certain acquired documents contain extensive references to 1000. Relevant is that the documents appear to be composed by entities associated directly with the location known as the Wanderer's Library. Context or significance of document details not yet clarified. Okay, so they do get along with the Serpent's Hand. Just probably not the Children of the Sun.
Well, maybe.
Right, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't. Like, protecting them would be a thing the Serpent's Hand would do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it says, we forgive you, given the choice for now, not forever, let us back in. So you think we should rank them now?
Oh, I thought you were going to read the last couple addendums there.
Oh, yeah, we can. Alright. Then 1276-A, numerous anomalous objects with a known connection to 1000 data expunged prior cyclical iterations. As one example, 2273 may not have a point of origin in parallel timeline, but instead a prior iteration, 2932 and 2511, and other sources of living cultural insight into 1000 or a variation, all present consistent inconsistencies, which may be used to create a fuller picture of the nature of these iterations, though conclusions are uncertain. 1276-Q Special Report Data Expunged. This unnumbered black box anomalous item, anchored underneath the structure, is likely the most significant anomalous object known to have been utilized. Central to understanding 1000's anomalous capabilities, including capabilities not developed directly but accessed from prior data expunged modern day relevance to the Foundation and to society at large in a scenario of general containment failure. Yeah.
Wait, so who actually wrote this?
Who wrote it? The Deadly Moose.
Deadly Moose. Huh. So, as I was saying, this one makes me feel a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
Because on one hand, we've got the element of the fact that, let's just be frank, the Bigfoot civilization sounds fucking awful in terms of how much exploitation and harm they cause, but simultaneously, they're also, like, just almost completely wiped out.
Yeah.
So it's like they're both victimizer and victim, which complicates things. The other thing that I want to point out, that my one major criticism of this SCP is the element of we did thus, and so. Imagine what they will do to us if we give them the chance. That really rings eerily similar to a lot of white supremacy concepts around, basically the source of a lot of white supremacists' insistence on the idea of the white G word.
Yeah.
It's actually the exact same thing, but against a Bigfoot.
Yeah, so it's like I'm basically, on one hand, I feel for the big feet because in this way they are effectively just a colonized people, and the Foundation is continuing to use rhetoric aligning with said colonization. But simultaneously, they were also doing some absurdly abhorrent shit. So I don't know how we can place this. And of course, this is all assuming, I guess that's the one thing, is this is also assuming that the Children of the Sun is a reliable narrator on the atrocities committed by the Big Feet, which, come to think of it, as like a somewhat colonial force. I don't know if we should take them as a reliable narrator on that sense. I don't know.
What? Okay.
I just don't know.
Same here. I was also trying to see if there was any stories relating to 1000 and Serpent's Hand getting along there or not. But I would still theorize they would try and help.
I imagine that, based upon the Serpent's Hand's basic philosophies, they would be wanting to work with 1000.
Yeah, but I was also think that there would be some friction because of the Children of the Sun. Because they are Serpent's Hand members that defected.
Are they?
Yeah, they literally said that in the article.
Did they say that? I didn't go back.
Hold on, right up here. It was somewhere in here. Sorry guys. Children of the Sun who defected to us. And Children of the Sun are part of the Serpent's Hand, so yes, they defected.
But where's
Because
where's
right
the comfort?
here, in the subgroups of major group of interest, Serpent's Hand, Children of the Sun, Outcast.
Okay. Well, outcasts implies that they are not actually an active part of the organization any longer.
Yeah, basically they left the group.
Yeah.
Okay. So either way, I guess the question is my question here is, are we going to rank should we rank the Children of the Night as a political force or as a people group? Or maybe another way to put it, another way we could do it is, are we going to rank them based upon their entire history or what they are now?
I think probably just as what they are now. I think we only did that for the history for organizations that were shut down. Like Prometheus Labs, for an instance.
I mean, we've definitely like taken into account an organization's whole history before. I
Yeah.
guess the thing is that like this group of interest isn't just like an organization.
Yeah.
It's also referring to an entire people group.
Yeah.
So like
Maybe we shouldn't judge this group and move on, because it
yeah,
does
like
feel weird to judge an entire group of people. I don't like it.
how about we make a new tier that's just whole ass people group?
We put it underneath. Or we can just put
Yeah.
in Dado tier and just like
Once again, I
Dado
don't want to
slash
judge
people.
an entire group of people.
Yeah, so like
Organizations are different. You can join organizations. You can't join being a group of people.
So basically
Well-
the Dado slash people tier is basically ones that we can't judge. So we can't everything because
well no, I think these are distinct because like
oh.
we aren't wanting to place SCP-1000 because they're an entire people group. We put Dado into Dado tier because it's fucking batshit insane.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to rate it because it's just all over the place. In this case, we don't want to rate them because it'd be feeding into bigotry. Like trying to apply real world analysis onto the concept of evil races strikes a very
Oh, let me put this above Dado.
Yeah, that's fair.